EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Miami Dolphins. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Play action. It's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw here taken in by Parker. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Lindsey able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. 2nd and goal from the 1. Gaskin. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. 14, Ravens, nothing. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they're able to get this one across the 35.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. This is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down.
Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now this defense for the Ravens, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Tua going to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play there for the Dolphins.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Tua now on 1st down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And not much running room. Down to the 32. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Steps away to his left. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And now the throw here is incomplete. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. 21-0 our score after 1. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Waddle now to return it. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. At their own 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 27, Tua. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Calais Campbell in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Going deep here for Parker. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Second and 10. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On third down, Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards up.
And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. So they pulled a little rabbit out of their hat, nearly for 6, almost got the fake into the end zone. Either way, they're set up really nicely.
So we all fell for the illusion, didn't we? Did they saw someone in half on stage on that one? I mean, that was something right there. We fell for the fake in a big way, as did the defense. And look what it turned into, a monster play. And now they're set up inside the 5-yard line.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Dobbins once more. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Dobbins. And did he get in? Yes, they say it's a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Tua. Throw left side complete. That's Parker. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
To his throw, taken in here by Fuller. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a handoff for Lindsey. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And able to work his way down to the 16. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking to pass. Tua. And this will be swung out for Lindsey. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Sanders' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Now here's Johnson. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. Ooh, the juke. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there just before halftime. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run with Dobbins. Stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle but couldn't get it all the way home. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. To throw is Jackson. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. It's a loss of 3 on what should be the final play of the first half.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force them into a field goal attempt.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Taking it about the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it, because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Sanders' kick is good, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard, where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a first and 10. Now a dump off here complete, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Here's a give to Lindsey. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run here with Lindsey. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On first and 10, it's Lindsey. Give him a couple on the carry there, second and 8. Well, for an inside linebacker, I think you'd agree when I say that he is fast to the football, and he proved that thesis correct on that last play. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And his throw here is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up fourth down. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. The second field goal here this third quarter, and his third of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Jackson. Slings it to Anders, and it's complete. The tight end has it.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is, his ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll get this down close to a 1st down at about the Dolphins' 16. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. It's a big play there for Miami. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one. Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 30 on second down, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it with Dobbins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for it.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Ravens get a bit closer.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play there for the Dolphins. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Lindsey on the toss left. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 65 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll go option to the short side. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off Byron Jones, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone, and you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out, and I think their philosophy is we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Returning it, Johnson. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Now Jackson on first down. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Jackson will throw again. Escaping the pressure right. That is caught, Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every